Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Mornings with the Focus, starting a little bit earlier today. Look, you got Cardell Dudley Jr. here. You guys know how this goes. Talk about NBA playoffs first, and we get into some other things. This morning is going to be a bit of an abbreviated version in terms of length of the show. Then we'll be back to regular scheduled time tomorrow, where no rush or anything of that nature. But last night, uh, the Western Conference Finals moved to Dallas for Game Three. If you guys hadn't heard, the Golden State Warriors didn't really care much. They held the Mavs off 109 to 100 for the win. Dallas went on an 11-2 run late to close that gap. So just want to make it clear that 109 to 100 was a little bit, it wasn't as close as it seemed late. The Warriors didn't shoot the ball to their typical standards. However, they owned the glass and played good defense once again. It also helps to have Steph Curry, but he wasn't alone in this one as he and Andrew Wiggins combined to score 58 points. Curry finished with 31 points, 5 rebounds, 11 assists. Wiggs had 27 points, 11 rebounds, and one vicious dunk over Luka Doncic. Clay added 19, and then the Warriors got 10 points apiece from Dre and Jordan Poole. The Mavs were led by Luka's 40 points. He also had 11 boards, 3 assists, and a couple blocks. They got 26 from Dinwiddie and 10 from Jalen Brunson. That was kind of it, though. Dorian Finney-Smith had 9. Reggie Bullock went 0 for 10 from the field. Dwight Powell had 3. Maxi Kleber went 0 for 5. The Mavs shot 40% from the floor and just 29 from deep. Dallas made several runs, but they, like most teams, struggled to defend the Warriors for 24 consecutive seconds. And the issue they were having is the times when they did play initial good defense and they would have had to stop Cardell. I mean, you guys that watch Wizards Outlook, you've heard Cardell say this time and time again. But defensive possessions don't end until you secure a defensive rebound. And that's where the issue was. The Warriors had 14 offensive boards, led by Wiggins, who had 6. 6 of his 11 boards last night were on the offensive end. So you're giving extra possessions to that team. You can't afford that, especially when you're not shooting well. You need those possessions, and it catches up to you. But Kurt, I know it's something that has been something you've been on for a while, something that I clearly agree with, and it's quite annoying at this point. There's this really nasty narrative with Andrew Wiggins that it's been out there for a couple years. It didn't really make too much sense when it first came out, but it's one of those things where it's stuck for no good and apparent reason. Where it's clear that the Warriors traded a lot of their depth to go get Kevin Durant. Cool. When they lost Kevin Durant, they went to go back to doing things what it was like pre-Kevin Durant, which was their 3 core pieces and outstanding depth around them. That initial trade when KD left brought in D'Angelo Russell. Wasn't the greatest of fits. They turned that into Andrew Wiggins. Mm-hmm. And then the draft, and then those young pieces. They turned Kevin Durant to D'Angelo Russell. From D'Angelo Russell to Andrew Wiggins and some picks. Those picks became Andrew Wiggins, James Wiseman, Moses Moody, Jonathan Kuminga. A la depth. But the Wiggins narrative needs to be thrown out and lit on fire. Just needs to go away. And this series has been proving it. This series has put it on Front Street, right? His ability to be the point of attack defender on Luka, which that's a hell of a job as is. But what's hurt Dallas is that he can score within the structure of their offense and still go get a bucket when they need one. And you guys heard what I said a little bit earlier about 6 offensive rebounds. Everything he brings to the table is on full display, and it's helping the Warriors in different stretches in this series and has all playoffs. Another piece of depth, something that's happened over the last 2 games. Moses Moody is creeping his way into this series, little by little. 16 minutes last night. I'm sure for box score watchers, you're going to be like, oh, well, the box score said he didn't really do anything. Look, if you're a rookie, you're able to play 16 minutes in a freaking Western Conference Finals for that team, and they can trust you and you're solid. It is what it is. There's not immense pressure that he didn't score 15 points. He doesn't have to. He didn't give up 15. Cool. But Dallas will be looking to stave off elimination on Tuesday night. All right, Cardell, your thoughts on last night? And I know you want to get into this Wiggins discussion as well.
Well, for me, Well, the Warriors just handle business. They show why they're the team of the era. They're team of the decade or the preeminent franchise in the NBA right now. You know, they could have been happy with the 2-0 lead and whatnot. They're like, nah, we gonna put our foot on their necks, man. And it's not just the core three. If you watch the game, Clay was off at first. Him and Poole was off. Poole picked up 3 big fouls. Steph had it going. We know what Draymond's going to do. They needed someone else to step up, and that was Andrew Wiggins, and he stepped up in a big way. He's showing throughout the playoffs, he's been the X factor because they haven't had anybody that can kind of match what he brings on both ends. And the one thing that you're starting to see in the Warriors offense that he wasn't asked to show previously before he came to Golden State was he can also pass the ball. He's getting a few assists, and he's not even the primary ball handler. And he's getting loony buckets. He's getting Steph shots. Clay, whoever's popping open within their schemes, he's getting the ball to him, man. On top of what he's doing, scoring, rebound the ball, and doing 94 feet on Luka Doncic, dog, like Larry Legend Jr. So I'm like, we know the majority of the league wouldn't dare do that. They don't even want to guard him in the half court. Like they don't even want that assignment, let alone do it. And he's doing it and doing a good job. Yeah, Luka had 40, but most of 40 came in the fourth when the Warriors kind of went in prevent mode a little bit. All right, let's just get out of here without any serious injuries. But then Dallas shrunk the lead, and they had all right, let's ramp it back up and finna close out this game. It's getting too dangerous. I think they got within 5 at one point. So, that's what it is. You're seeing the greatness of why the Warriors are so much fun to play with. Like I've always said, outside of probably playing with Jokic, if I had to pick a team to play in the league, I would want to play on the Warriors, man, because they let you be what you are and they encourage it. And the thing is, Steph Curry, everybody knows he's the man, but he's one of the most unselfish superstars, all-time greats that we've seen. You know what I mean? Like, though, in the first round, he willingly came off the bench because Jordan Poole was rocking or whatnot. How many stars would you ever see do that, man? Ego would get into play, like, and that's what I love about Steph, because see, that's the beauty of having a path of a Steph Curry where you weren't highly touted at one point. They didn't think much of you. Then you blow up and they think much of you. You know what I'm saying? You don't lose that humility. You got every perspective of every player. So you as the leader, you kind of fill in the gaps of what can keep this thing rolling. All right, look, Poole got it rolling. I'm coming back off injury. I'm gonna come off the bench because I'm gonna do what I do regardless. But I don't want to ruin this young guy because we're gonna need him later in his confidence. Because we're gonna need him later in the playoffs. I don't want him thinking I'm selfish or whatnot. And if I set the tone to come off the bench, can't nobody else say shit. You feel what I'm saying? Moving forward, like, and they already couldn't say it, but they definitely can't do it. And he leads by example. That's what makes this team so beautiful and fun to watch, man. Anybody can fit in it because if it's your night, yes, Steph can get 30, Clay can get 30, who can get 30. Yo, you go eat. They will feed you and let you rock and be happy for you, genuinely happy for you. That's why they're a special team, man. And you seeing it. Then the way they defend it, I mean, Lord Jesus, man, like, dog, like Bullock and all those boys, like some of the role players that been stepping up outside Dinwiddie, and shout out to Dinwiddie, man. Like, man, he got a bad rap here in DC. I never went with that, man. I knew he just needed time to really get back to himself, and he's thriving. He's showing that. But outside, and Jalen Brunson is first, but outside those three, no one else is giving them nothing, and that's because of the Warriors defense. That damn 3-2 zone,
boy,
box and one with Drake
boy.
back line, and then you got and then they got Wiggins up top. They got Clay and Steph on the elbows, man. You got Dre and Looney back there, bro. They like, yo, what the, like, they can't even get open threes. They can't even get a chance to even catch the ball, get the ball in their shooting pocket, get it off. Oh, pass it back out. And dog, that's the key to their championship. And all they doing is all people focus on is the offense. I'm like, nah, man, they want chips because they can defend. And that, yes, look, let's keep it real. They went out and got Kevin because they had to deal with LeBron. That was a one matchup they couldn't, no free agent, like no disrespect, no draft pick was gonna match that. They had to get somebody. Look, he a mother, like he's a nuke. LeBron's a nuclear bomb. They had to go get their own nuclear bomb. They had to get KD, and then that's just what blew it out the water. And like, we got everything else. And I think Draymond said it best, like, Kevin, we don't need you for the regular season. We need you to deal with LeBron in the finals. That's it. And he did what he's supposed to do. But then when KD left, they got right back to business as far as building I call it the Spurs way. You know what I'm saying? As the core starts to age, they get key players that they believe can fill that role and not only learn how to win, they can fill that role and carry it on. And the great dynasties have done that. You the best, honestly, are the Celtics with Red Auerbach. I mean, hell, they dominated from the 60s through the Bird era. So you just do stuff like that, man. And that's what you're seeing this beautiful basketball, man. But look, the Warriors showing who they are. They clicking on all cylinders. Looney too got to throw a lot of praise his way, man. Like he's been a double machine lately, dog. I know he only had 9 points. He could have easily got another bucket and had that, but the rebound and the defense and stuff like that. I saw his quote last night. He said he take it personal when teams try to like seek him out and act like he the weak link on defense. Like, nah, we not rolling. Lucas try to seek Steph out, Brunson, all them. You saw Steph slide on button, like it ain't going no more. Now you just like, I mean, it's like 10 of them on the court. What we do? So you just got to make tough shots all night, and that wears on you as the game goes, and no team can sustain that. So it's the reason why the Warriors up 3-0 with the expense. I expect them to come out and just like, let's end this. We ain't, because you don't want to play games, have somebody get key play, get hurt, and that can mess up the whole run. They understand that. No one understands that better than them based on what they've been through the last couple of years. So, we're going to go into that, man. But, big win for them.
Nah, for sure. And everything you said was just nothing but the truth. And people just got to just put some respect on it, man. Even from a whole, the masses, there's been a large portion of the folks on our side of things in media, whatever, that is going out their way to ignore and disrespect Golden State for what they've done. There's a reason they're still here. Like you can keep throwing dirt on them, acting like it's not important or what they're doing isn't that great or what have you. Went into this series, there was a list of people that were more vital than Steph. I saw a couple lists is the best players left in playoffs or what have you. Like, are y'all serious?
That's the ball media, man. That's the media that's bought by agencies of other players and all that. Let's just be real. If Steph, the Warriors, and they 5 wins away. So if Golden State gets a championship, he has 4. He matches everyone's, darling, so to speak. You see what I'm saying? And that changes a whole lot of things. And if he gets his 4th ring, he moving up. Like, I mean, I love Hall of Famer Isaiah Thomas. You got to put him second all the time. That's 4. That's 4 rings, man. And you can't say nothing. And you match what he's done. He's changed the game. And can we stop this narrative that a scoring point guard ain't really a true point guard? That's BS. Steph is the greatest shooter of all time. What coach will say, Steph, I want you to be John Stockton, facilitate more and shoot less? That's his gift. No, bro. Anytime you see daylight, the ball better be in the air. But the thing is, he can pass and dribble and stuff like that. That's what makes him a point guard. Don't knock him because he's the greatest shooter we've ever seen. That's his gift, man. He put the time in, he put the work in, and the very threat of him shooting the ball opens things up so much for that damn team. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
So that's what being a point guard is. Y'all say the number 1 prerequisite for being a great point guard is making your teammates better, right? That's what he's doing with his ability. Even when he's moving off the ball, sometimes he knows guys gonna double him and stuff like that. A lot of times he's doing the hockey assist. He's the one making the pass to make the pass to get the bucket.
And he's the one that's clearly tilting the hell out the floor. Like, do you know how nice you got to be where you got, what's it called? The guy who might be the second best shooter ever, and people might leave him because of you.
Good.
Like, let that sink in. You're tilting the floor that much that someone's literally taking 2 steps away from Klay. It takes 0.7 seconds for that dude to lock and load, and you're taking a step away from him. That's absurd.
And just to piggyback on what you're saying, man. Look, actually, as far as volume, guys who played and getting multiple shots, throughout the playoffs, Wiggins is leading the team at 3-point shooting percentage at 39.7%. Poole's behind him at 39.5%. Klay is 38.8%. Steph is 4th, 38.4%. He's not even like, bro. He's like, that's what I'm saying. And the other team sees that. So you got, man, look, dog, y'all people can keep being boo-boo the fool all they want, man. I go off what I see. And you just gotta talk about what you see, what's going on. They're clicking on all cylinders, but it's their defense that's just deflating because now you can't do what you want against them. But they doing what they want, man. So it is what it is.
And I just want to say shout out to Clay too. We watching him. You know, he's always been able to hit some shots in the mid range. Man, that man's been putting on clinics throughout this postseason in mid range when he gets going. It's obviously he hasn't had the vintage Clay nights from three where we see him go 7 to 10 from deep in the playoffs. But bro, we seeing one dribble pull-ups in the mid range, step backs in mid range. Before it used to just be a turnaround jumper here and there. Like, and that's the other thing. I just wish folks would get like
getting dunks.
Bruh, like a lot of his points right now are not threes, and it's stupid productive because they understand how to play basketball. And the fear of them shooting a three, and like this was the difference between them and like, you know, other teams. I'm not trying to be rude, but like, you know, the Rockets used to be built when it was the three above all, above nothing. Meanwhile, Golden State is two of the best shooters ever. As much as they love the three, if you're gonna take it away, you're gonna give them other stuff. They take the other stuff, and that's what Dallas is running into defensively. It's run them off the line, run them off the line, run them off the line, and they're like, cool,
yeah,
cool, all right, cool. I've never seen Clay dunk this much in series. Nope. He's literally getting the lane time and time again.
Fresh legs.
Like you said, fresh legs. Either off the dribble, which is weirding me out. I'm still trying to get used to this part of Clay putting the ball on the floor that much in the mid range, but it's effective and he's killing. And you mentioned Loon. That dude doesn't get any respect for what he's done this entire time he's been there. And again, that's someone who's been there this whole run, right? Pretty much. That's two dudes we've seen when Draymond's been off the court that can run them dribble handoffs, knows exactly where them two dudes like to get the ball. The continuity there is huge. It's just huge. And credit must be given, but I'm going to pull this up real quick because I watched this over and over and over again last night. So, you know, hey, it is what it is. Yeah, this was crazy. And I'm mad at the ref who initially called this a charge, man.
Yeah, come on.
Like, I don't know what's wrong with you, man.
Come on, dog. Don't be shook out there. I know you in Dallas. You want to make it home after the game, dog. But nah, dog, nah. And you know, Luka flopped because he knew at that moment in time when he jumped and he reached his peak, but Wiggins was still elevating. He was like, "Oh damn!" He knew he messed up. Watch him. He moved out the way quick. Yeah.
I'll tell you the exact moment Luka knew he was wrong right there. Oh no, I shouldn't have stepped.
Try. And smart of him, you know what I'm saying? Trying to draw a charge off. Nah, dog. You gotta take that L like a man. You got look. Basketball IQ don't just apply on the offensive and defensively. You gotta understand. Like, look, no disrespect. Look, I could rise in my time, but I'm not jumping with Vince. I'm gonna be like, all right, let's take this ball out. Do what you gonna do. I'm not doing that, man. Like, it's like come on, man. It's just certain dudes. You just gotta understand who you're dealing with. Like, nah, bro. Or Shaq already up there. You just look. If we did what we supposed to do, he wouldn't be dunking. That's how I look at it. So I'm not gonna think matters worse.
You let that pogo stick get a clear, strong 2-foot gather, man. Let that be.
Since high school, man.
But nah, man. We got the Eastern Conference Finals coming back around tonight. Game 3 of the Boston-Miami series. We saw Miami hold off Boston in a game where Boston was down, I think like 26, something like that. They were down pretty bad at that one. Fought their way back. Couldn't get over the hump. And credit to Miami. You know, holding the fort down in that one. But you know, that'll be tonight, and you know, we'll talk to you guys about that tomorrow morning. But all right, before we get out of here, Wiggins. We just want to talk a little bit more about Wiggins before we get out of here. Go ahead, Carter.
Oh, we in the media. And I'm talking about real media. Social media is not media. If you're not getting credentials, you're not real media. Real media that be in the arenas covering this game. It's okay to say you're wrong. It's okay to not go with the crowd and really look deeper into things to understand what's going on that might affect the team and the player. Look, have there been games and spurts throughout Wiggins' career where it's like, yo, you're not being up to par. Of course, that's common for every player. You know that's why you have coaches and vets and people to like pull you to the side, like, yo, you could bring more. You've been a slump. You gotta get out of it. You gotta play better. But this narrative that he was never good enough to carry a team, and number one pick was a bust and stuff based off some social media slander from a couple NBA players and former and one current, who, I mean, according to Wiggins' teammate Andre Iguodala, that wasn't even the case. That the dude really liked him. When all things are said, it's just ridiculous. But we understand that it's a lot of miserable people out there. So any type of slander, they're gonna jump on it. If it's something good, you don't hear that being recycled nearly as much, if ever. People look for dirt and nonsense and foolishness, so they can just jump on and roll with it, man. And the narrative with Wiggins has always been wrong. Y'all have to understand, he was the number one pick, but he was coming to after the KG time era with the Timberwolves, one of the worst franchises in the league. They were trying to get back to normal. And here's some facts for y'all. It's hard for especially one and done player, to come to the league and just start killing and learn how to win and all that. That's tough in itself. That's tough for a 4-year player. That's tough. But a one and done player, you got to understand, it's going to take a one and done player time. And if you draft him, you have to be prepared to develop and build around him. So when he's ready to so-called take that lead, you know what I'm saying, he's ready. He's equipped to do so. And then he can bring everybody with him. This is some facts about Wiggins, his time in Minnesota. He had 4 coaches. Rest in peace, Flip Saunders. It was Thibodeau. It was Flip's son, and it was Sam Mitchell. And he went through 5. He had to play under 5 GMs. That means 5. Look at the coaches, 4 different types of systems. And then you have 5 GMs who had 5 different types of plans. Can you imagine the frustration of a player dealing with that? That's why I don't think people understand. When I mean the GMs, Flip Saunders was the coach and GM at the time. He unfortunately passed away. Rest in peace. I believe had Flip Saunders lived, Wiggins would have reached what we're seeing now a lot sooner, the level he's at now. Then they had Milton Newton. That ain't lasted long. Tom Thibodeau was the head coach and GM. That's when Jimmy played with him. Towns were there. They managed to get to the playoffs that year, but they didn't keep Tom Thibodeau. Then you had Scott Layden as GM. Then you had Gerson Roses, who ain't last too long, and he's the one that ended up trading Wiggins. And now you got Sachin Gupta, who's doing a good job. He has a core in place where they could build around Towns, Anthony Edwards, D'Lo, those guys, and they got something going. They made the playoffs again. Respect to him, man. Y'all gotta understand, culture matters. It's no different than when you're choosing a college. Every program don't fit you, so you're not gonna go to every program. Same thing with high school. Every high school program may not fit you. So why would you expect that at those levels, but you expect it to be any different at the highest level, where it's a lot more at stake, a lot more egos? Wiggins was used differently during his time in Minnesota. It's the reason why his best years were under Sam Mitchell, a former NBA player who stood on him and allowed him to thrive in multiple ways. The other years was analytic based. Wiggins be more of a 3-point shooter. That's why if you look at his 3-pointers in a couple of years, the 2019-2020 season, you see him hoisting 6 to 7 threes a game, but he shot a low percentage. That isn't his game. His game is to mix it up and score on all 3 levels. The analytic base from the coaching staff upstairs made him that. That's what I mean. Like, y'all gotta look deep into the box score about what's really going on, why certain players are playing a certain way, and why certain systems are being ran. Now he get to Golden State, who encourages him to be what he is and what he's always been. And he's showing an all-around game that most people didn't know he had. I knew he had it because he showed it back in high school and on the circuit. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta understand, he wasn't just one of the top high school players. He was the top high school player. He was the number 1 pick. He was the top player in college. That's why he was the number 1 pick. So he's been hunted for years. You can't be a soft dude and endure that and still push through if you ain't tough. It's just it won't work. He would have been broke, especially dealing with what he had to deal with in Minnesota. Now that he's with the best franchise, I feel, in the NBA over the last year, because they got the championships and the management, the stability upstairs from the owner to the GM, Bob Myers, to this coaching staff, to the vets, the core on that team. He's allowed to thrive, and for the first time in his life, he's being taught how to win. And that started with the process last season, with teaching him, break these habits. Boom. Steve Kerr was talking about it last year. He was like, Wiggins got to break habits as far as the little things he do defensively, shot selection and stuff like that. In return, look what he's had this year. And it's his first year making an all-star team. He's being asked to shoot less, but he's shooting more efficient, which is harder because he has to make those limited amount of shots he gets count. Otherwise, they can't keep him in the game. To take pressure off Steph and Clay, then he's guarding the best perimeter player while Draymond is floating around doing what he got to do, depending on who they playing. More than likely, he's focused on the big to try to balance things out. And you see what he's doing, what he's done in a regular season, and he's even elevated his game in the playoffs, which shows you he's a dog. That's what I mean. Like, y'all got to stop with this narrative and just understand that the boy was worth being the number one pick. And I don't like the backhanded compliment like, yeah, he may not be a franchise-altering talent or player or whatnot. Yes, he is. Because without him, where would the Warriors be right now? They wouldn't be at this point. Worst case scenario, best case scenario, Memphis would have got him up out of there. You understand what I'm saying? Because Draymond would have been drained trying to deal with Luka and Ja Morant and all that stuff like that, and try to do what he do. They would have had no other, and no disrespect to Clay, but in the second round, he had his troubles with some of Memphis players. He did. So you couldn't even rely on putting him on Ja and all those guys in spurts. They would have got beat. And hell, they will push even with Wiggins and all them doing that. Ja got hurt, and then they just closed him out. They're coming. Look, man, he's worth what he's validated why he was picked what he is. And I'm pretty sure, and shout out to Steve Kerr, I'm pretty sure Steve Kerr envisioned him being what he's doing. And with him and Poole learning how to win and being as young as they are, Wiggins just entering his prime. They're going to be the next group to carry this thing on.
He's 26.
26, he ain't even in his prime yet.
26.
So 28 is when you enter your prime. So they're going to be the next wave to carry this thing on. Look at Kuminga. He behind the wings just learning stuff like that. So they're going to be the next core to carry this thing on, and you still have to deal with the Golden State Warriors as Steph and Clay and Dre and all those guys age out and all that stuff like that.
Yeah,
like,
but go ahead.
Look, bottom line is all these people were wrong. Talking about his heart, talking about his talent, they were wrong. And you can't just say, oh, it's because he's playing with the Warriors. Well, other guys tried to fill that role. It didn't work. It didn't work out. So it might just be because maybe he's a good player. And the thing for me with Wiggins is he doesn't rock the boat enough for me, and that's his problem. He's too much of a team player at times. Just like Minnesota, he don't rock the boat. You never heard any nonsense out of him where other dudes would spoke up like, nah, this things need to go this way. But that's what makes him fit in perfect with Golden State, because he just sit there and he does what he does, man, and he just fits in, man, and he's validating that, man. So y'all gotta. It's okay to say you're wrong in the media, man. It's okay. Patrick Beverly, shout out to him. He did it last week, man. He disagreed with a report from Windhorst about Marcus Smart not playing. Marcus Smart didn't play. He went on there like, I apologize. It's cool to apologize. It's okay. People were wrong. So now just enjoy the show and see if they can carry it on to the championship. They're 5 wins away, and that's all I'm saying.
Yep, it's really that easy. Everyone's wrong at times, right? It's okay. What makes it worse is when you double and triple down and act like it wasn't there, because you take it to some wild place that it shouldn't have went to begin with. But like you said, Wiggins has been a bridge for this. He's a vital piece, been a bridge for this, because you're waiting. The kids need time. They need experience. 26. With all that experience, you laid out all the experience that he's had thus far. 5
GMs, dog, and 4 coaches, dog. Come on now.
And then your first year at Golden State, everybody's not healthy when you get there.
Yeah.
That wasn't this Golden State. And then you talked about he's extending the time for both Draymond and Clay, because they would be the guys in the past where you threw them at folks that were acting up on the wing or whatever, right?
Where Iguodala, yep.
And again, Iggy's not there. So that's what they're grooming. Hey, go be what he was for us, plus some. Because this stuff y'all aren't the same, right? But also, we need the pressure you give offensively. Bro, this whole postseason, they've had moments because Golden State's always been like this. And this is why when Kevin got there, it was unfair, was when they got into their little moments where they get the tripping, you had the weapon of all weapons. When folks got the tripping, you had a run killer, automatic certified, loud scoring run killer. Because all his buckets be loud as hell. This run ends here. You know, they get the tripping, miss a couple threes. Dude goes on a personal 7-0 run. We're good. The shooters get back into it because the flow to offense is back, and we're good. But we've seen Wiggins do it it's not in the same way as Kevin, but it's similar. It's a similar effect for them when they have moments where we all know when their offense gets out of sorts. What do you see? Offensive rebound, a tip in, a stop, a steal, a couple step back jumpers, just big time winning plays where on a grand scheme of things, people see it, ignore it, don't comment on it or whatever. But he and Steph combined for 58 last night.
11 rebounds, dog.
6 offensive. What do y'all want?
And what Steve Kerr say? We wouldn't be here without Wiggins. That's the head coach. And shout out to Steve Kerr, man. Because a lot of people be trying to always. First of all, the last thing about Wiggins, stop giving him backhanded compliments, like saying, "Yeah, we know he isn't a franchise-changing player, but he's playing awesome basketball." Look, just don't even say enough if you're gonna do that. And then shout out to Steve Kerr. This is what I'm saying about learning how to win. He won with the Bulls. He won with the Spurs. What did he pick up with those guys? I don't know. He saw a Pippen. He saw a Jordan. He saw guys on the Spurs like Sean Elliott, guys like that. Most youngest don't even know who Sean Elliott is. Super athletic, 6'8" wing, the scorer from all three, defend, do all that. He was key. He was the guy. He was the original Kawhi type player. You know, like he was the first one. That's what got them helped get Duncan all those guys rings and stuff. David Robinson finally got his, man. He knew exactly what to do with Wiggs. And Wilson, you know this. When they traded him, I'm like, are y'all stupid trading him to the Warriors? But do y'all know what he's about to do? People are slow. We had that conversation. I'm like, man, you about to get Pippen in the gym working equal. I'm like, oh my, y'all messed up. I'm like, and y'all lucky. And the league is lucky that Wiseman ain't been healthy yet.
Hey, dog, that's why I'm sitting back quiet about all this. Because again, like I'm sitting back quiet about all this because again, Wiggins is like Poole's coming, obviously, but Wiggins has been a perfect bridge because he has more experience than Poole in this league already, right? At the ripe age of 26. That he's been through and seen is crazy. Watching him finally take the steps into being what people thought he could be. And I'm going to say something real quick about the backhanded comments with the franchise. Some franchises can't be saved. All right? Gonna throw that out there real quick. Sometimes not the player. There's nothing you can do. Some franchises are like Gotham. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. City gonna die.
Listen. The greatest player in Minnesota's history, Kevin Garnett, he did what he could. He got him to the Western Conference Final. He go to Boston 1 year and they get the chip. And then they compete in another 2. You feel what I'm saying? It matters, bro. Like, it's not always – we talked about Marvin Bagley during the season. He leads Sacramento. He in Detroit getting double-doubles already. He's like – but people probably just threw him out the way. It threw him in the trash, man. Look, culture matters. Teams matter, man. That every team ain't the same. I don't know why y'all think it's different at that level. We trying to tell y'all, though. Like, we've been covering the league a long time. You definitely feel it, man. Facilities, coaching staff, encouragement. Just, man, probably Steve Kerr just probably like, Wiggins, let's go hang out. Let's talk. Family and stuff like that. That means a lot when you go on a wartime and the coaches ask you, yo, I need you to get on Luka 94 feet. Cool. You trust him because you know he gives a shit about you. Compared to a coach, you don't even know, like, Wiggins, we need you to shoot threes and step it up defensively. All right, I'm stepping it up defensively, but the problem is I don't trust the people behind me to be where they need to be. I can't guard 2 people at once, so I'm hedging out to help out because they not playing defense now. My man come back door getting wide open jumpers, and they're looking like I'm getting cooked. Look deep into the box score, man. Like, dog. And you know this, I've said this, man. My when he came out, when he was about to get drafted, I felt like his ceiling was McGrady, but with all NBA defense with that package, offensive package. That was his ceiling. You're starting to see that in his role with the Warriors when he's getting 27, 11 rebounds. But dog, who the hell is guarding? You haven't seen nobody press Luka 94 feet. He's done it every game from game one.
Right.
In the playoffs? Come on,
and
bro.
then to still have and to still
that ain't
have delays.
Come on, bro.
And to still have delays to go back the other way and give what's being got. All right. And you're on a smaller team. So you have to go crash the glass while dealing with. Look, man,
Luka's bigger than him.
Y'all pick and choose what y'all like.
Exactly.
It's just interesting. But
that's not franchise changing, please. All right.
That's literally the definition of what y'all call for people that you like. And some people that you like don't even do those things. But it's cool. But again, shout out to the league. Congratulations on what you did, because all you did was now for shout out to you, Kersey. Appreciate you. All you did was now is you've extended their core. You've extended them. You've extended them because now through regular seasons, man, they ain't gotta play 30 minutes a night through regular season anymore. Bro, them young boys out there, y'all come make sure you get enough to keep the rhythm. Make sure your old ladies keep the rhythm. No, bro, them young boys out there and breeze through the 82. By the time y'all get to the season that matters for you older dudes,
we
fresh legs.
Fresh
legs. Like 25 minutes a night throughout the whole postseason. And just keep breathing life into the little young kids. That's it.
And you know what else is scary? They have an owner that don't mind going into the luxury tax because they got a chance of winning. So y'all gonna have to deal with this part. They're not going anywhere.
This is the thing. Y'all made it that much easier for Lacob and them, who's already printing money to go. Oh well, I guess we don't have to trade Andrew. We could just pay to keep our own. Because what do they need to go out and get?
Nah, we got and they got the big right there. You see what I'm saying? Like y'all. Hey man, look, I'm just laughing because y'all. But this last thing I'm gonna say for all y'all that out there, social media land talking about scouting. Scouting isn't a science. It really doesn't matter. It's just everybody's opinion. That's BS. Look at the Warriors. Look at certain franchises. They know what they're doing. They know what they're drafting. It's certain type of players that they identify and that fit, and they're thriving, though, and they're thriving, and they sustain success. While other guys who y'all feel are more skilled because they can shoot the three better and dribble the ball better, they don't quite have the same effectiveness when it's go time, man. You know what I mean? So, I'm loving what I'm seeing, man, and it's just a testament to how great that franchise, man, and that's why they're the team of the era, man. And look, the hate just coming their way because a lot of people just don't want to see them get their fourth ring. And they don't want to see Wiggins get the first ring, because then that kills a whole lot of narratives and stuff like that. And they no longer have a story to hold on to. Simple as that.
Especially if they get it why he continues to play a pivotal role in this run. Because you can go to this point. There's countless moments of that final game to get rid of Memphis. They were tripping. Wiggins 5-0, 7-0 run.
Mm-hmm.
All him. Boom, Steph 3, and they're back on track. But it got started with Wiggins. This whole series right here, somebody got to die at the altar and deal with Luka. And they've been able to do it where they pick and choose when to trap him. Other teams can't even leave that boy alone for that long because he goes nuts. And they got Dallas so out of sorts, like you mentioned. The times when them dudes do get open chances for catch and shoot threes, they're almost sped up because they just expect somebody to come out of nowhere.
Exactly.
It is what it is, man. But all we're just simply saying, give folks their credit for when they do right. And again, everyone's wrong. It's just not that hard to be like, damn, I was wrong. That's great. Give that person credit. It's that easy. But shout out to people who love narratives. And then the thing is, when you keep going and it's like a lie. You keep on and you double down and you triple down. The snowball gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And then the wonderful thing about the internet, you can just go Google and pull up a clip, and the thing that you said a long time ago that started all this crap just sounds so freaking stupid.
Yeah, Wiggins ain't got no heart, but he guarded Larry Legend Jr. full court, 42 minutes, no turnover, 27-11, 3 straight games. Dog, this, Wilson, 95% of the league wouldn't dare do that. They don't even want to guard him, period.
No, my man got the memory of an all-pro corner. Anytime Lucas, boy is unbothered. Oh, well, Let's go pick him up again, 94 feet. What's wrong with you, man? You know what that is? That's a whole cycle. That's a competitor. Y'all are, again, people pick and choose. I've seen the best run away from smoke when folks get rolling. Run away like it's a horror movie. Full dead sprint out of here. Like, I don't want any of this. Grab your stuff, get out of press conferences, what you expect, all snippy and stuff. Meanwhile, he just out here minding his business, put dude in a casket with a poster, and went right back to playing defense. But again, you know, narratives, right? Narratives. So you can't stop the rain. They got it pouring. Yeah, I mean, they get it. And that's the other thing. They're not even hitting threes at the clip they typically hit at.
Man, what?
Like, that still hasn't happened this postseason. That still hasn't happened.
Let Clay wake up.
It still hasn't happened.
See, we used to the Warriors.
Yeah, we mentioned that dunk trust. Yeah. So yeah.
Listen, we used to the Warriors having a game over in the third quarter where they just come out and like hit you with like an 18-0 run and they sitting like the end of the third for the rest of the game. That's all it is. But these youngins learning. See, they learning how to do that. It's gonna come, man. You know what I'm saying? But look, man, look 3-point percentage. Where Clay at? Wild thing is Clay. We saying Clay ain't woke up, but for the playoffs, he shoot 38%. That's the.
But you want to know what? When y'all are the two greatest shooters ever, that bar is high as. We're out here talking about they not shooting normal. They are exceeding like. That's career highs for another good shooter somewhere. It'd be like, damn, they missing threes. Yeah. It's. He said this was you when he dunked on.
Nah, I ain't even had time to yell, man. You know why? Because the damn ref called offense foul. I'm like, I was looking like that. I'm like, are you serious, bro? Like, come on, dog. You can't. I know Luka a bad boy. I know it's his house, but chill, dog. Like, he gotta take that L. Didn't nobody tell him to jump. You gotta take that L, dog.
And shout out to him for afterwards because he kept it. He was
that's
real
why I like Luka.
Yeah, me too.
That's Larry. That's Larry Bird. Larry Bird keep it real like Jordan, man. That's God. This guy's Michael Jordan, dog. I ain't think nobody could do that to us. What the man? You know what? Give us 63 in our house, man. Please, like I gotta get my rings before it's too late, dog. Like that's just. I'm loving what I'm saying. And real one last thing, and then I'm totally done. Everybody's gonna be wrong, but. In our field, we get the credentials and all that for a reason to be right a lot more than we're wrong. Stop with the hot take stuff, man, because you just reach in to create views and clicks and stuff like that, and it does nothing but make you look stupid at the end of the day. Like you can't say a man don't have no heart, but he's guarding literally the second coming of Larry Bird up court, 94 feet, dog. Like if you haven't played basketball. Just go into an open gym or something and try that on the best player of the team you playing. Just do that for the full game. You're not gonna do that. And that's another thing. Steph not even, bro. It's crazy, Slim. Like,
yeah.
And that's the only thing Wiggins ain't doing well, shooting free throws. Like if he shot free throws, I mean, if he was hitting his free throws at a good clip, man, he'd be in the low 20s average wise, and it'd be a whole different story. So. Look, they're a monster coming. They got the pedigree. They got guys that been there, and they're teaching the young guys, man. And you seeing why the Golden State Warriors are what they are. And yeah, Steph, they get this for a ring. Yeah, them point guards about to get jumped. It's just gonna be Magic and Steph at the top. Period.
Man, it's crazy out here. We look forward to talking to you guys tomorrow morning, as always. So, what? Bro, they're still not super old yet.
Nah,
and Clay 32, Steph 33.
Dre, what, 31?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. And then you got the kids in house already. And that's the other thing. When they get Big Young, when Big Wise gets out here just to get minutes, Dre gets to take a little bit of a break because you can rock with. Again, they get to get
They got to keep
and man.
He gonna get a bag.
Yeah. And that's the other thing, again, like you said, it's easier. It's easier to go into the tax. Bro, I know Laker got to be smiling because the moves that you made post KD to correct this or whatever, you just pay it. You still got years where you don't got to pay the rookies. They're sliding into this stuff. It is what it is.
Prime Iggy or Prime Butler. Who are you talking about, Jimmy?
I think Jimmy. I think you talking about Jimmy.
I mean, Jimmy's the better player, but I don't know if he would have been a better fit for Golden State. That's what I'm saying. If you just talking about player for player, obviously Jimmy's a multiple-time All-Star. I think Iggy made it once or twice. Yeah, carry team. He's literally carrying the team right now. Carry teams to the finals, man. You gotta give him props where it's due. Shout out to my fellow JUCO alum, man. Always happy that. But yeah. But if you talking about fit with the Warriors, it's Iguodala, man.
For sure. All right, Kirksey, appreciate you tuning in, each and every other person as well. Don't forget, when we get on here in the morning, it's a conversation with you guys. So we got a couple scripted things after that. It's wherever you guys want to see the conversation. Follow after Kirksey. He knows exactly what to do once he gets in here. Come in here, hit the comment section ASAP. He will lead you. He will lead the way. He knows how things go on this side. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Enjoy the playoff games tonight. We got OTAs happening around the NFL as well. So might have Justin on tomorrow morning, talk some more NFL or whatever, what have you. Again, hit the comment section, stay in the conversation each and every morning. Thanks for watching Mornings with the Focus.